Let's go to Wellington now, where our business editor Giles Beckford is standing by. Hi, Giles. The Reserve Bank admits it dropped the ball when it came to supervising the big banks.
Indeed. Good evening to you, John. This was the other part of today's big piece from the Reserve Bank, the Financial Stability Report. All the attention was on the loan to value ratios and the like, but the little nitty-gritty bits that are really quite important are about the health of the financial system and the banking system. The Reserve Bank's got responsibility to supervise the banks, make sure that they have enough money in the kitty to ward off any particular crises or to be able to handle any shocks that may occur. But it has a very light-handed role of supervision, and it doesn't like to get its hands too dirty. It leaves the banks to, by and large, especially the big ones, the big four, to regulate themselves. Now, if you remember, a few weeks ago, Westpac Bank got a smack over the hand in public for using some unauthorised models. These are the way it assesses the risk and then works out how much money it needs to keep in reserve to counter those risks. It gave it a public censure, gave it 18 months to tidy up its procedures. Today, the Reserve Bank acting governor, Grant Spencer, admitted that probably they dropped the ball, that they should have cottoned on to Westpac's breaches a little earlier, and that both sides were probably at fault in being a bit too slow to take action to rectify it. Now, given that we don't have such things as deposit insurance in New Zealand, and the Reserve Bank doesn't stamp on the big banks as some of the other major regulators around the world do in places like Britain and the United States, then clearly a lot of trust is put in the banks. And if the banks don't live up to their undertakings and they don't abide by the rules that they're supposed to put in place, then I think we as depositors and consumers probably have some reason to be a little on the nervous side, or certainly to be demanding higher standards. I think an admission today from Grant Spencer that the RBNZ had to tidy up its act, and he's giving an assurance that certainly there won't be any repetition of this.
Thanks, Giles. Yeah, well said. Fascinating. You said they'd get lost under the LVRs. I appreciate you telling us about that. A couple of notable departures today too, Giles.
Indeed. Sir Patrick Hogan, who is one of the premier horse breeders, stud owners, has sold his Cambridge stud. Say two names, two horses, Sir Tristram and Zabeel. Between them, they've had scores of winners around the world, 8 Melbourne Cups, umpteen Caulfield Cups, Cox Plates and the like. He's, after 40 years, sold the Cambridge stud to Brendan Lindsay, who was the man who quietly built up the Sistema plastic storage box business, which he sold about a year ago for about $600 million. So he's got a bit of time and money on his hands. He's had some long-standing horse breeding interest as well. The other notable departure is John Penno from Synlait Milk. Now, Synlait is the small dairy company. It specialises in making the infant formula for A2, which is in such strong demand, Australia, China. Only a couple of hundred dairy suppliers. It does come down to the special protein, the A2 protein that's produced by the suppliers. But John Penno's moving on. He's been with the company 17 years, and a good deal of credit for that company's profit and its success is down to him. He'll be leaving sometime next year when find a successor to take over from him.
Thanks, Giles. To end, what happened on the markets today? Well,
the share market just gave up the ghost this afternoon. It had been a little bit active this morning and early afternoon, but it's closed just half of 1 point higher, 8142 for the top 50. The New Zealand dollar, 68.9 US cents and 90.8 Australian.
Giles Beckford, to quote the Reserve Bank Governor, any further work from you is deferred for the day. We appreciate it. Giles Beckford, our business.
God bless you.